on, and so he's in Ohio and I'm in Florida, and and so I'm in Florida and I'm doing a presentation to about 6 people in the room for a new person we had sponsored long distance that I'd never met before, right? And so there's this one person, and she comes in the room and she sits down and she closes her eyes and she slept through my whole presentation. And so I went, well, she's never going to do anything. And so that was my new person voice in my head. But I did what I knew to do. I gave the whole picture. I said, this is a powerhouse company. This is what it's doing. This, for those that want, to be part of a freedom plan, this is it. For those that aren't interested, you're never going to come across a company that's that good in prevention or that good in restoration. And then at the end, I said, how would you like to get started? Well, she woke up. I thought and she said, okay, I'll take some of those mag step things. I said, okay. And so she goes, but I'm not stupid. I want to sign up, but I'm just going to do those mag step things. And I go, okay. And this is where the unconscious confidence came in. I said, but did the whole picture make sense to you? I always say to them, I want to make sure they heard it. And she goes, oh yeah. She goes, it's just not for me. I'm comfortable. She goes, my kids are grown. They're off to college. My husband's got a great job. I do whatever I want, whenever I want. I said, she goes, I think it's great, but I'm just not interested. She goes, but the products are fascinating, so I'm going to use some. So I'm just going to get up and down on the products. Okay. So I left there and I flew back home and I said to Mac, it was a good event. People bought products, and I said, but I can tell you who's never going to join me. 3 months later, I get a phone call. Hi, this is Arlene. She said, my husband came home today and they just cut 50% of his income from teaching. And he told me I had to go get a job. And he goes, I had a girl in my house that's doing what I could do. And I'm doing it. She's one of my platinums today. So what I know to be true is daily method of operation, keep seeing the people, keep doing the big plan, service what they want, don't scare them away and try to turn them into what they don't want. Ask them, did it all make sense to you? Ask them for referrals, and eventually it susses itself out. And so, and again, the same thing. My first person, you want to and be a product of the product. So I was trying to figure out how to talk to people, and I walk into a sport mart, and there was a friend of mine. She was 10 years younger than me and 10 years healthier than me, and she's walking up a ladder, and she's the manager of the store. And she's limping up this ladder. And I said, what's going on? She goes like, I started the day with no energy. I hurt all the time. And she goes, I've talked to my husband and I think I'm going to have to quit this job. The management is just killing me. And she goes, well, we need the money, but I can't. It's just killing me. And so this is where the listening comes in. Most people would have pounced on her because she was limping and needed the product because she was tired and limping. And I said to her, and this is in my first week in the business when I didn't know what I was doing. I said, so big picture, what do you want? She goes, I'd love to have a job that's not that demanding, but that pays more. And I want energy. And I went, okay, if there were a way to get all of that, would you take a look at what we're doing? And she goes, what is it? And I go, well, let's set the meeting. So we set the meeting. I said, but in the meantime, I took out my insoles of my shoes because they're the same foot. And I said, so I did the same thing to my tax accountant. So I said, these are mine, but I'm going to let you wear them in your shoes today. She goes, what are they? And I've never been technical. I go, they're foot things. Put them in. I still call them foot things. Ask me the name of the present product. I can't tell you. She knows. I can't tell you. They're foot things. Well, put them in. And she did, and at the end of the day, she called me. She goes, I flew through the day. I went up the ladders with ease. I changed all my demos. What is this all about? And I go, well, we're meeting at the end of the week. Let's just talk. We'll just talk about it because what I found is the next Microsoft. She goes, okay. Well, in the meantime, I go, but I want my foot things. And she goes, sorry, they're gone. Well, where'd they go? Well, a friend of ours came in, and he is a square dancer, and he was limping, and he couldn't square dance, and he was going to give up his hobby. And he goes, well, you got small feet. Let me give you these. So she put my foot things in his shoes.
Oh, my word.
And so then, what I didn't know was he was getting on an airplane that day. He was Air Force, and he flew to Florida, and he gets to Florida on a 2-day temporary duty. He gets down there, and there was a major in the Air Force down there that had been involved in a very bad car accident and mangled his leg. And that Air Force guy said to this guy he didn't know, he goes, the guy goes, you're limping like I was 24 hours ago, and I'm not anymore. And he goes, really? He goes, they're going to wash me out of the Air Force. because they've tried everything. I've done all these surgeries, and I can't get back up to peak performance. And the guy goes, well, I got these foot things. So he pulls them out of his shoes and he sticks them in his shoes. So now in 24 hours, it's been in 3 people's shoes. And the guy goes, my pain just stopped. He goes, is there a business with this? He goes, I don't know. So I get this phone call goes back to her. She calls me and I go, yeah. So he calls us and we go, yeah. So he's the one that I went down to do the presentation for that Arlene slept through. So we launched him. I didn't. Yeah, anyway, so that's how we opened Florida, and within, basically in a short period of time, we ended up in 10 states just by that. And the guy went on to keep his military career, got promoted to colonel. I mean, he kept both careers, so, and then we built that leg. So, but what I didn't do is I didn't lead with the product. The product was the fuel of the business. I led with the big picture. And I didn't loan products that slow things down. Usually it was meant to be a loan to give an immediate impact, and the moment the impact, you take it back. So it would have been taken back right away, but it journeyed quite a bit. Yeah.
So in your mind, what's a product that slows things down that you might not want to learn?
Well, I say there's 3 stages in this business, and hopefully you accelerate to stage 3 quite rapidly. When a person's brand new and they're shaky on their belief, they tend to loan a bit, and it'll bite you too, because you loan and you get results and you feel better, but then you also loan and people don't use it or give it back, or you lose them. And so in the beginning you loan maybe right or inappropriate, whatever. Then you get to stage 2, which is you only loan in front of you. So like I always have product on me, and if I see somebody in a meeting and then they're doing this, I go, just while we're sitting here, you got tension. And then I'll take off a necklace and say, like, I don't expect this to work. I always start out with I don't expect this to work, because that way if I put it on and it doesn't work, I haven't lost it. And so I'll put that on, and after a while I notice they're not rubbing their neck. I said, you're not rubbing your neck anymore. So what I'm doing is I'm giving them an experience in front of me. And once I'm giving them experience, they don't need a loan. Because once you loan, several things happen. If you loan, and you loan too long, then they're cured, you give it back and they don't do anything. Or they don't have a value because they didn't buy it, so they don't use it. Or the worst part is you loan too long and all the people you recruit say, I don't have the money to have that and loan it. So you now stop duplication. So stage 2 is you loan in front of them. Stage 3 is you know when to loan because you're big and, like right now, Mac and I travel a lot. So our last trip that we were gone for a couple of weeks, we've taken people through the process. We've put them on, we've done demos in front, we've done loans while they're in front of us. They want us to loan, we don't loan. We said, we don't need to loan, products aren't on trial. We come from a position of strength. So that's stage 3, is you come from a position of strength. You do a 3-way because if you're not getting to the point where you can do this without a loan, then how are you going to go global?
Exactly.
So we don't loan. Now I'm going to tell you, stage 3 you do loan, but you loan in a different way. So what happens is once we've taken a person through the full information process, and for whatever reason we've 100% struck out, and we're going on a trip, then we can loan because we've already struck out. We have done everything. We've done the 3-way, we've done the demo, we've done that, and we failed anyway. We can't get them to budge. So then we call them up and then we start out and say, we never do this. We don't do this. We don't loan our own personal products. But we're on the road for 2 weeks, and we've showed you everything, but you just don't get the value of the sleep system, or you just don't get the value of the light, or whatever. And this is not what we normally do. We set that pattern, so if they ever join us, they don't go into thinking loan's normal, because we've got to do everything to make sure that we're not sending the wrong duplication factor into our team. So we just sold 3 beds last week, because 3 bed systems went out 2 weeks ago when we were on a trip. And these are people that we've taken through 7 years of process that we couldn't get closed in any way. I mean, we tried everything. And so it went out. But, yeah.
The thing you did, or the first thing that I think I heard when I first came into Nikken was your owners. And that's still my most favorite thing today.
Oh, owners? Actually, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, well, we did that because Mac and I joined Nikken at a time that there were growing a lot of products and nobody had any focus. So we created a focus, and then we created our own packs. And then today, I mean, even as Nikken evolves and maybe moves away from the term wellness home, because buying patterns are different, doesn't mean that, I mean, I love the fact we're making change because we're going into a stronger future where, you know, you evaluate buying patterns, and yes, our sleep system is awesome and we'll keep it, but we'll trim back on some other things. And so we're already having the dialogue as we lose pieces, and so far, you know, maybe not the wellness home. I'm already moving with the new words. It's like, you know, we're the synergy company. You know, it's the same thing. It's still owners, it's still vital energy, but instead of maybe you've got all the wellness home pieces that you've evolved into a company that's clicking synergy together. And when you put that together, you've got a competitive health, you've got an amazing business. There's nobody else out there with it. So everything's an evolution, but you have to know what you are. You have to have that posture.
The other thing I've heard that I watch periodically is the thing on YouTube with you talking about the guy in the elevator.
That's
About
posture. Somebody grabbed. I was up on stage in Spokane, and basically, what had happened to me is I had gotten. I was dressed up one day, and I got into an elevator, and it was there was a simultaneous conference going on with orthopedic surgeons, and he had made the comment. He goes, "What do you do?" And I said, "I'm in wellness." And he says, "I hope you don't do it very well." He says, "Because you put me out of business." And I said, "No, you hope I do it very, very well." And it was posture, and so it's on YouTube. But it basically said, "Why do you say that?" And I said, "Would you not say you got into medicine to help people?" Yes. Would you not say you got into medicine to profit from helping people? Yes. Would you not say that you're being trimmed away at what you do and the insurance companies are dictating what you can do and how you do it? He goes, "Absolutely." I go, "You know why that's happening? Because there's a whole lot of people flooding the healthcare system that should never have been sick in the first place, that are breaking the system." He goes, "Absolutely, it'll be broken, it'll collapse in 10 years. And I said, "So if I get the people that shouldn't have gotten sick healthy and keep them healthy, and you continue to take care of the people with birth defects and accidents and traumas and all that," I said, "you'll go back to being profitable, they'll go back to getting good health care, and I will go back to profiting by keeping the planet healthy, and the insurance companies won't go broke." And he goes, so at the end of the elevator ride, because he had stopped the elevator, he actually said to me, "Great, I hope you do your job very, very well. Our system's broken." So it's posture.
How do we find that on YouTube? What
Just, I guess, Google Pat Terry and I got, and so
It's on Dave Johnson's too.
and he just sticks
magnetic
this thing into your
leaders.
thing. So half the time I don't even know what I said, but basically, I mean, I'm just quoting what happened in that situation.
Probably magnetic leaders, YouTube, something, I don't know.
Yeah.
She comes up all the time. I love it.
Anyway, but it's true. It's true. So know what you have your hands on. And, you know, it's interesting, when Mac and I started the business, we both basically started our own. We both did our own launch and went after our own people and lived on a walkie-talkie with each other because we couldn't afford phones. And that's how we communicated. But it was very interesting. We debrief every week on how we were doing, and we found my model was rocketing, even though I was a quiet one without skills, and Mac was the skilled one, and his model was going slower. So we dissected why that was. Well, Mac, because he was brought into Nikken by a product lead, and he was brought in by curing me, he was going out trying to cure people, and then he'd tell them about the business. So what happened is it made them all be interested, but then they wanted to sign up and wait until they had a product experience before they got, so it was really slow. Whereas I went to people and said, "Hey, you know, I found the thing that can give you freedom, and what's great is, you know, yeah, I had a health collapse. I had a health collapse because I didn't have freedom. And so I've got something I want you to look at." So people were actually getting in and buying stuff and launching because they wanted the business, and they were getting experiences they went. So we just found the product lead was slower.
I had